Gold Brown, 1-0. Last pool play game of the day. This is to guarantee second place in the pool. Brown's 2-1. OSU is 1-2, upsetting Alabama Huntsville. So Brown needs to win to avoid a three-way 2-2 tie. So if Brown loses, it'll come down to points. But the plan is to win, of course. Filming from a little bit different spot here. I'm going to see if we can get it done. On D is Jacques. With Adrian, Matthias, Yut, Oscar, Eli, Cam.
You may notice that we are broadcasting from a different angle. We have been relegated to the practice fields, which is slightly elevated on one side. So we chose the elevated side because we think this might give you a better perspective of the game.
We're a little bit up on the hillside here. Here's a big hug from LSU.
That's a well-placed huck.
Beautifully delivered.
Yeah, it's right there.
Delivered.
Only person who can catch that is the intended receiver there. So it is now 1-1.
The Beavers strike, scoring to tie the game at 1. Thanks for tuning in. 8 on the stream.
So for those of you tuning in, it did look like at one point that maybe this game wouldn't matter too much for Brown before the last round, where Brown upset, where Oregon State upset UAH. And once that happened, now we're in a situation where there's some weird point differential things that could be happening here. Obviously, Brown locking down this game would secure their second place in the pool. If they lose by 2, they would also still be second in the pool. So there's a little bit of breathing room here for Brown, but this is a game they definitely need to come out and play hard for.
Yep, and for the first time in 3 games, Brown has their full roster activated. We've got Luca back on offense. Also on O for this point, we have Cal, Jason, Henry, Leo, and Jacques. And Yut. Here's the pull from the Oregon State Beavers. Yut's going to let it fall. Knock down for Jacques for the centering pass. Luca goes deep. Leo under. Jacques finds Yut on the reset. Yut swings it. A high throw, and it's not completed. A little sloppy there from Brown.
Yeah, Cal couldn't quite come down. That may have, I think it might have out-jumped it. It looked like it may have hit him on the wrist.
Yeah. Cal got up for sure. Oregon State with the break chance. I think these guys were a little bit of a Cinderella story at their regionals. And here's an ambitious throw, and it's caught for the break. OSU breaks Brown. Brown's down 2-1 early.
Yeah, that is. So Oregon State comes out here, takes advantage of the Jacques to Cal Nightingale turnover, and they're on the board first with the first break.
In the in-between round, we were watching Texas UNC, which was close for a while. UNC not looking invincible, but tough, not able to sustain the pace.
Yeah, I mean, they mostly trained the first half. I think UNC got an early break and more going into half.
Yeah.
And then after that, UNC just broke a bunch out of half. I think the challenge with UNC is their depth. They're just a deep team, and they're just going to keep putting it on you.
They got waves on defense, and they got multiple guys who could be the central guy. Very deep team. But they were a little loose on their throws, I thought. A little loose on their decisions. Tough got some turns. Got some turns on them and just couldn't punch it in on their defense. So we'll see. Here we go. Brown on O. Here's a pull from OSU. Coming in outside and backhand pull. Leo's going to field it. Makes the grab. Centers to Yut with plenty of space. Yut looking. Looks up. Jacques breaks the mark to Leo. Leo sends a big huck. He's got Luca. Jacques in the area as well. Luca goes up, and number 18 with the big D. Luca calls foul. Foul called by Luca is number 18. Kind of came over his back, I think. We'll see what the observers say as they hash it out. And no foul. At least I judge by the reaction to the OSU sideline. Nope, no foul. OSU a chance to punch their second break in a row in. Number 4 with the disc. Swing to 12. OSU a pretty standard horizontal offense. Number 4. Number 9 sets up a nice cut but doesn't get it. 4's looking. Fine. 7 for the swing as the disc sails on him a bit. He's able to reel it in. Brown playing a little bit of a poachy D. But they get the reset, and here's the big huck. Let's see if that's well weighted. That's going to carry out the back. That's kind of the downwind end zone.
Yeah, it's, that light breeze from the morning has stayed. It's maybe 5 or 6 miles per hour on a consistent basis. Certainly enough to affect that throw. Right? Yep. That one was pushed down and further away and faster.
Here's Jacques walking disc up. Yutt in the backfield with him. Luca in the lane. Luca goes out. Now Jason. Now Leo. Now it's got Yutt on the reset. Back to Jacques. Jacques looking. Pick? No. Guess not. Leo, nice inside to Cal. Cal's got Jason going deep. Looks him off. Resets to Leo. Back to Cal. The 1-2. Jason breaks his cut off. Goes deep. Cal finds Leo. Right back to Cal. To Yutt. To Jacques. To Cal. To Luca for the goal.
That is good offense. Like comfortably in control the whole way. I think that's what we want to see out of Brown. And I can imagine in this game it might take a couple points for them to get up to that, having been subbing with weird combinations. I think this is a good opportunity for them to build confidence, to really start feeling comfortable in their handler set in a way they can run the bracket tomorrow. So I might be happy they have to work in this game. They can't just dial this in and not have these guys play together who haven't had that opportunity this weekend.
Yeah, and Jacques was actually kind of the number 4 handler in that set for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like over the course of these last 3 games, we've seen other people slot into these different roles, which has given us a few more weapons than we had before, right? And so now incorporating all those weapons together with the people that were sitting, okay, now how do we balance this more? How do we split our lines so we can still be successful even if, what we think of as our top guys aren't on there? They have depth. Like the last 3 games have helped them build depth.
Come on,
We got the zone team out there. I heard that Noah Urrutia had a key block last game. Is the Pride of Montclair Pickup Ultimate, as relayed by Jake Alberton. And there must be an offside on the pool.
Yeah, it looks like we got offsides.
We're going to do it again. Or no, it's at the brick, excuse me. Let me pull up my notes.
That's really too bad. So this looks like this must be a second offsides call. Why is it a brick? I'm very confused by the situation. Is the first offsides a brick and the second offsides is midfield? Is that a changed rule?
I don't know. I heard him say the next one's at midfield.
So it used to be the first offsides was just a warning, and then the second started midfield.
Yeah.
So I was surprised. And the wind is picking up here too, so that's interesting. But that's going to be really big for Brown. Their pulls have been fantastic this weekend. Whoever's been pulling, I know we've had a variety of pullers, but our pulls have been good. But obviously offsides is going to really take away that advantage we've had. Oh, that bobble pushes him out. So that is a turnover. Looks like Brown is going to get the disc.
Yeah, and I'd say Brown's pulls, not that they've been the best pulls in the world in terms of staying in the air for a long time or coming down the corner, but they've been inbounds.
They've been inbounds, right? And a lot of them have been like they've caused turnovers, right? We've seen a couple pins deep in the end zone. We've seen blades that have landed and rolled out the side. We've seen the drop pull. Like those pulls are mattering for Brown, and I think the offsides takes away that advantage, right?
Yep. So for OSU, Ulti-World All Region is number 4. With the disc, Ben might be pronounced Thanes, might be pronounced Thones or Thowens. I think I'm going to go with Thanes. And number 7, Felix Morin was an honorable mention.
Oh, and the observer quick to pull out a card here on that bid. It looks like a blue card, so team misconduct foul. Didn't like whatever happened at the end of that play, I think.
Huh.
I think there might have been just a little bit of contact. Probably shouldn't have happened. I mean, he was far. So I'm guessing that doesn't seem like a totally unreasonable team effort, maybe a little surprising.
Brown has their first blue card. As OSU is on offense here, this is Ben Thanes. Firing it to the end zone, and that's going to work.
That is
for
going
the
to
hold.
Also, I need to make a correction from the last game. You know, we were very confused about the blue card that Tease, the Tease got, right? And I think that we talked with the team afterwards, and we found out was that the blue card wasn't for the foul that he had called on that push-off. It had actually been for his fast counting earlier.
Yep.
So he'd been warned for it. They just applied the blue card at that stoppage, which that happened to be the next stoppage.
Yep.
So,
which is why I guess it happened at the end of the discussion. That
right, why there was more conversation happening than we thought should have been happening in that situation. So the TMF was not for anything that happened in that play, but for something that happened earlier. And so that seems like a totally reasonable TMF. I like that. I mean, I think these observers' job it's tough, right? I think we remember the dark ages of these college ultimate games where it would be stoppage after stoppage. I mean, how many calls were there in your finals?
Oh, there were a lot of calls.
The fans started.
There were also a lot of players who traveled every time they threw.
That is absolutely true. There are a ton of people traveling every time. There was a lot of contact too. It was a more physical game.
Yeah, it was a
so they were totally reasonable calls, but I think those TMFs stopped those repetitive things from happening.
I agree. It's a terrible spectator experience. Terrible when there's a game that's just dominated by calls.
What I would like to see in that situation is TMFs for travels. Like at some point, look, you've traveled 5 times in a row. Here's a TMF because you can't keep putting on the other team to keep calling it.
I agree.
There's got to be a consequence now. We don't see a lot of that. I think there's still areas where they're not necessarily applying those.
Lefty to Jacques. Nice reset. Zips it up to Noah. It's got Jacques on that tight little inside reset. Jacques, the quick release up the line to Leo for the goal.
That was a beautiful shot.
Classic.
Beautiful shot.
Nissan missile. Kyle, do you have a word for when someone's going upline and instead of going behind their defender, they under their defender? You know what I'm talking about? Jacques just did that there.
Like you come up line and you plant and come back under?
It's like all right, let's say well, for those of you at home you won't see this, but let's say you're guarding me. Guy with the disc is here. My team's going this way.
Okay.
I go up the line, right? So instead, you turn to go with me, and I just come this way.
We could do this on camera.
And I get this up the line. You know what I'm saying?
So
come underneath, Jacques kind of comes
it's an element of a chisel. We talked about
chisel?
Like a chisel is like driving at someone one way and then taking whatever opportunity they give you, right?
So it's a chisel.
Or if it's a specific move, we used to talk we talked about the two-step, like you power one way, like kind of a cross step in basketball, like you power one way and you go the other side of them, so you can basically like a quick lateral move that you plant hard on, and so you look like you're attacking one shoulder, you force them to turn,
That's what I'm talking
and
about.
you attack the other shoulder.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's about trying to beat them down the field. You're still going in the same spot.
So we used to talk about that. There was a whole period in the NBA where the two-step became popular, and I think we tried to, at least at UW, I'm not sure if this developed elsewhere, we started trying to emulate that specific move where you drive one shoulder and change it. And I've seen more and more of that at the college level. I think it's NBA Genesis type.
Interesting that NBA Ultimate Connection. Brown playing zone here. Brown was down a break early in the first half. You're just joining us. This game, if Brown wins, they'll secure second place in the pool and get a favorable three-quarters matchup. This is Ben Thanes with the disc. He loved that lady forehand, fighting number 92 to number 8. Matias on the mark. High stall. Got the reset off. Ooh, Matias hunting that one down. Nearly got there. Brown playing their zone look here. Good fake from number 7.
Woo!
Luca almost coming through and getting that run through block.
This is a good, this is a fairly conservative zone, but good pressure. Oh, and I think Luca, blocked
There it is.
by Brown.
Jock got that one. Luca might have got it first.
Jock's fired up right now. He really wants this break back. He is driving this offense forward. This is, what, someone's telling me they've not seen Jock take over yet this weekend, and I think this is about what we're going to see, right? It's like him deciding, I'm going to will Brown to this goal. Like, we can't not.
And there he goes. There he goes, outrunning his man. And delivering
Yes!
the inside.
That is what we need to see from Brown. Like, Jock is deciding, look, I am the best player in this field. No one can hang with me. I just have to go every other. I have tons of players to support. Just bounce it off them until you score. I mean, I love that Brown has built their depth, and there's a lot of guys that can step up. But Jock can decide to do that, especially for like a D-line point that he comes on and just punch that one in after like, hang out playing defense. That's a great point for Brown right
and
there.
And Jock, when he's playing defense, especially when he's playing zone defense, he's such a matchup problem on the turn.
But did you see him?
Like, do they even talk about that? Who's going to take
Who's going to take him? He's going to be covered by a weak player.
Yeah.
Did you see his energy when he picked up the disc? He was like, go, let us go.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that.
All right, Browns got their break back. The score is, I'm actually not sure.
I believe it's 4s.
4s, that sounds right.
Or actually, maybe it's 5-4 Brown. I think we just got our break back. I think we've only been broken once.
We got it. It's definitely on serve. I just not totally sure. Yo, sideline, you know what the score is? I know we're on serve. I know we're
4-3. That's
4-3
right.
us. Okay, thank you.
It's 4-3 us.
So we received to start the game.
Well, I mean, that's an important point for so many reasons. Obviously, getting that break back before half is important. It would be nice to knock a couple other breaks down. We got Leo on the field, so he's going to be probably quarterbacking on this one. Let's see
I think it's going to be a similar point, just with Leo in the Jock role, playing deep in the zone.
Well, and they swapped out a bunch of receivers. Cam's in there. There's no Luca, so there's definitely some difference of personnel here.
But I do think this is the zone. We got T's on the mark. We got Caleb hunting. We got Sid.
Very similar look, yeah.
We got Zach Merrill.
Oh, here we go.
Here's the deep shot. Leo's got a chance.
Leo's got a read on it. Oh.
Well read by Leo.
So here's the question. Like, this is what I think a perfect Brown ultimate would look like for this current generation. Is Leo doing exactly what Jock did, just taking over that bounce back until you find someone? Because this guy's not ready to guard Leo.
There goes Cam, and you know that's going up from Leo. You know it. Oh, and a nice D from OSU. Number 11.
So Brown gives it back here. Let's see if they can pull another one and turnover down. They're going to have to work to get this back.
Jock missing like Blade. OSU finding the end zone for the goal. That's a hold. 4s. What do you think about that shot?
I don't love it. He drew 2 defenders right away as soon as he started taking off. And so he's going to be going against 2 guys. And that you also know that there's going to be a guy open coming under every single time Cam takes off deep. There will be guys open underneath. You hit that underneath one, Leo gets it back, and then maybe hits Cam like on a transition dish pass, like where he's just running out to space and you're not hanging one up for him. Yeah, Cam's fast.
It's a tough throw, the standstill huck from your own goal line.
Absolutely, and it was predictable, and it was easily poachable, and it just put more pressure on Cam than it was tough. That was a tough catch.
Well thrown though, and well defended by OSU. All right, Brown O's on the field for all. Cal, Henry, Luca, Jason, Cal, Jock, Jock, Leo, Yut. 17 on the stream. Thanks for tuning in. For all, on serve, early action.
I think we need to get back. I want to see the O-line just run confidently and firmly down the field here. That's what we want to see. And then get back to them figuring out how to convert defensive opportunities, like to make defensive opportunities and convert. If they can do those 2 things in this game will be a win.
Yep. Here's the pull from OSU. Good pull. Fielded by Yut. Finds Jock. Jock's got Luca. Jock got Leo. Finds Leo on the in cut. Luca's going deep. Leo puts it to Luca. We got a crowd here. And it's scooped up at number 18 on OSU. Luca on the mark. Cal on the mark. OSU looking for their second break of the game. Around to 18. He's the guy who reeled that D in. 18. Reset to 21. Up to 27. Jock on the mark. 27 is looking long. He pumps it. And that's not going to work out. Well,
thank goodness. The Brown really needed to get that one back after that turnover. That was not a great turnover for Brown. You know, I think it looked to me like Leo's pressing a little bit, like he had one big hug turnover. He's like, okay, I can still do this. And I think the way you press in this situation, if you're feeling a little bit nervous or you're feeling like I'm not playing my game, is to do it with your legs, right? Like to start it there instead of starting with your throws. I know I was the worst at this in college. You know, like whenever I made mistakes, I would want to make it up for it with what I did throwing, especially my first few years. That was a big learning I think I did my senior year.
Well, you know what they say, those who can't do, teach.
That's why I coach.
Jock, up to Leo. Leo to Luca. Nice controlled throw for the goal. There's a hold from Brown.
That's what I'm talking about.
Alex Liu on the sideline.
God, here's the thing I feel about this Brown team right now. I mean, I know I'm talking a lot about them generally, but like, I think to me they're like just a spark or two away from a great run this weekend. Like, I think they're really close, and I think it's possible. Like I really believe that they're going to win this game, and then they're going to be able to win every single game they play tomorrow. Like, there's no question they're not out of any game. Like, you're going to go into that game, even against a UNC. And think, oh, Brown can't beat. You definitely saw it yesterday, right?
They can beat anybody.
They can beat anyone at this tournament, and it's just. And there's a couple things that, like, if they could dial in, they could actually do that consecutively. I think, like to win 3 hard games or 4 hard games over the next 2 days. It's hard. It's a hard road to go through the pre-quarters, but it's been done before.
It's been done. Who's the last pre-quarters team to make the finals?
I don't know. I actually am not absolutely positive it's been done in college. I know it happens in club.
It's been done in club, yeah.
I would love if someone can look that up. Has someone come through pre-quarters in college ultimate to win a title?
Eli Chang with the pull. Nice outside in pull.
Here you go, Eli.
OSU is going to catch it and center the disc. Brown's playing chunky, or maybe just poachy man. I think Brown's just playing man here.
It looks pretty straight up man.
Somebody's yelling man, so they're probably playing man.
Yeah,
Lefty
this
flick.
is a man defense.
And here's the deep shot. Matthias hunting. Matthias just runs past his man and D's it. I think the offensive player had to stay inbound.
Yeah, I think he was way to the sideline and gave Matthias just that little edge.
But I'll go in the stats as a D for Matthias. Great D.
So this
Oscar.
This is kind of the standard D-line offense here.
Yeah, I've loved Oscar's game with the disc this weekend.
Yeah, Oscar's been playing fantastically. I agree. Cal's also been playing great. I love seeing these guys work the disc. I think they're dialing in that second.
I'm sorry,
unit.
15 is Emmett Young. Sorry about that, folks. Matthias is 19. I'm getting my mid to high teens confused. Anyway, great D by Emmett, but Brown C team gives it back. And OSU's O team has the disc again, looking to make it 5-5. Swing, Eli on the mark.
I like this D line. They're grinders.
They're
this
playing
is a grinding line. Now, this line looks. They want to run, and I want to see them run.
Rick on the mark. Zach Hoffman, good D on the goal
line.
Such
good energy from this man.
Good D by Oscar. Good D by Eli. Everybody's
That is a great D! Oh, crap. That is a great catch.
Great catch.
That is a great catch. That was the only thing they could say. That was a fantastic team defense all around. That throw was lucky and fucking amazing as shit that he caught that.
That was a great catch. You don't often
see a great defense, Brown.
Kind of backhanded catch, looking like a baseball outfielder with the glove, but the hammer was kind of curving away from him.
Yeah, I actually want to see that clip again, because that was like awesome. the whole progression there from the Hamler defense. Like, everyone was shutting down their person, and that was literally his very last outlook.
Yeah.
And I think that if he put it an inch further, that guy wasn't going to catch it.
I agree. And if he put it any less far, I think Emmett would have beat it.
I love it. I love College Ultimate for that kind of energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I think College Ultimate has a better vibe, like spectator-wise, than almost any other Ultimate that's out there. I don't know.
We prided ourselves on our man defense.
Do you go to any Pro League games?
I've never been.
I've never been to a Pro League game.
I think I will go. I have friends who go now, and I think at some point we'll probably go and maybe take the baby.
I have very complicated feelings about the Pro Leagues.
Yeah.
Just I don't like the wide field. I think that doesn't make the game look very good. I hate
It's a bit silly.
refs. I hate refs, and I think that really like.
I'm with you there, and I think it's probably only a matter of time before certain behaviors get incentivized and then cross over into club.
Yeah, I mean, I think as long as club still is the top dog for the players, that's going to be fine. But I think there's more and more people who, I don't know, it's interesting. I have no idea. I don't even know how people perceive the club teams versus the pro teams. Because I'd much rather watch the club teams play than the pro teams. But I'd much rather watch college over club.
Jacques with the disc as Browns cross midfield. To Cal. To Jacques. Leo, nice circular cut going back up line. To Jacques.
Oof.
Leo gets very open on the reset.
It's just all we want.
Leo
just
and Jacques
confidence,
show. Very
primo
easy.
O-line offense. Like, nothing feels pressured.
Cal. Leo on the goal line. To Jason. To Henry, excuse me. Henry for the goal.
Good grind, Cal.
You know, there's not a single throw there that I had. My heart sped any faster. You know, that's what you want to see on an O-line hold. Like, they didn't eat up a lot of yards at a time. You know, they just worked it really easily. It was like a walk in the park.
That said, they're working very hard on their cuts.
I think that's true. But I think that's part of it. Like, they're getting open enough on those cuts.
Yeah.
That, like, it didn't feel like the throw was stressful. They weren't having to do too many things, like throw a break mark throw into a really tight space, which I think when the Brown offense stops looking good, that's where it looks like, right? It's like on the inside out to somebody who is like with someone on their back shoulder.
Yep.
And every throw feels like, whew. But like that, like, yeah, their cuts were hard. They were working their asses off, but like able to like create separation on all their cuts.
25 on the stream. Thanks for tuning in. I think it's 6-5 Brown. We're definitely on serve, so we're definitely up one. And anyway, on D, closest to us is Oscar. And it's going to be Zach Merrill with the big lefty pull. Here we go. Nice pull. His pulls have been so good this weekend, just reliably inbounds.
Oh, man.
And he even forced one drop one.
And that was another scary pull to catch right there.
One.
I love the lefty pulls.
It's got the opposite spin. You know, you don't think the spin matters, but all of a sudden you catch a lefty backhand that can catch you by surprise. Matias on the mark. I will try not to confuse 15 and 19 in the future. OSU past midfield at the attacking break and a visionary crossfield throw and a soft forehand to the back of the end zone. Very nicely weighted.
Good pressure. I mean, good running. Brown was running there. I mean, that was a good O point for Oregon State.
That was number 4, Ben Thanes with the throw. Noted thrower. 6-all. So if Brown wins this game, they are second in the pool. If we don't win, it comes down to point diff. There'll be a 3-way tie at 2-2. Alabama Huntsville was the hard luck team in the pool, not winning the game. I was surprised by that. Them coming second out of the Southeast.
Yeah, they're not hyped. This is their first time at Nationals.
Yeah.
I think they're an interesting story. You know, they're very athletic, but they're new to the kind of the elite college scene, and so I think it's hard to show up for your first time.
Yeah.
My understanding is that I heard this whole thing. They're not like a program in the sense that like we expect them to see them next year. It's a group of players that I think started together as freshmen in college and are now all seniors in their 4th and 5th years.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think they've got big guys graduating. So I think this may have been their shot. I don't know what next year looks like for them, but I think that's got to be hard. It's a lot of pressure on that experience, you know, and you have to come out here and play game after game. And that's hard, right? And these teams have been doing all sorts of things to get ready that maybe you haven't gone through those last regionals to national stretch before. Like, how do you use that time to be as good as possible.
Yut, scuba in cut to Leo, who shoots it for Jason, who goes up strong but not able to reel it in.
No contact there. Jason had good position there. You know, that disc definitely hung up too long. You want that in the bread
And
basket.
here's a big hook the other way from OSU. And that is going to work. And that's a break for OSU, 7-6.
Ooh,
Wow.
and a tough one. That is a tough break to give up. I think the back-to-back side of it, the hook turnover.
Live by the long ball, die by the long
Right,
ball.
it feels tough.
7-6, 6-7, 6-7. Brown is down
It's
now.
also a tough break, like game-wise. I mean, we're kind of nearing the end of this first half, so like it puts pressure on Brown right now to score back-to-back essentially.
Yeah,
Or they're gonna have their work cut out for them in the second half.
they will. They're going to come out on D in the second half.
I like the energy from Oregon State. They're fun to play.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
I wish it were
Impressed.
easier.
I'm impressed. So on 0 for Brown, Henry Jacques, Leo Luca, Yut, probably Cal, and Jason. That's right, Cal and Jason.
Walk it down, Brown. Walk it down.
I do also love the energy here from Oregon State. I mean, just that like they're happy to be at nationals, but like they're not happy to be at nationals in the like scared way. They're happy to be at nationals and they're playing kind of joyfully, right? Like
Yeah.
they're taking their shots.
Yeah.
Which I like. Like you're not like playing. I don't know what their game looked like before, but they're not like playing scared.
I agree.
Which is a great thing for the lower seed to bring.
Yeah, they are the 17 seed. But not playing like it right now. Yut to Jacques. Jacques looking downfield. Got a lot of poaching from OSU. A lot of poaching. I think it's just kind of an initial poachy thing to shut down the pull plays. Got Luca on the in cut. Luca looking for Cal. Has got him. Cal dish to Jacques. Jacques throw and go to Leo. Up to Yut. To Jacques. On the goal line. In the area of the field that's very difficult for us to see. Jacques with the disc to Leo. Right back to Jacques, off the sideline now. Off the sideline, but on the goal line. Looking for Leo. He's got Leo. Right back to Jacques. Very, very, very open. Trying to jump in. Not quite able to do it. Jacques looking. What's he going to do? Leo's going to go for him. He's going to find Yut for the goal. Brown holds 7-all.
Ooh, a lot of work there on the goal line, but you know, good offense overall. You know, no turns, solid play.
That was nice. The
Yeah.
resets were easy resets.
Right, I mean, as long as you have that outlet valve, it makes your whole offense so much easier. Right? If that's dialed in, it feels like, okay, I can always get 2 steps away from a defender here and throw a reasonably easy reset. The downfield will figure itself out.
Yep.
Interesting. So I didn't realize this. These guys, Oregon State lost to UNC, but they only lost 15-13. They played
wow.
them pretty tight. They put up
Wow.
more points against UNC than anyone else in the pool.
Anybody else? That's impressive. Did not know that. OSU is for real. Timeout Brown. Timeout Brown, recognizing the importance of this point.
You have to tune into the stream to find out, or just stand here. Oh, is that all you want to know? What was the score?
I don't know. He said,
What was the story? I feel like the story is a much larger question than what's the score. I could have said 7-7. This is a big point for Brown, right? Like either way you go into half, so you want to bring out your best players that you feel most confident able to get this break, right? They'll be able to rest after this point, score or no score. So this is an easy decision to make to call that timeout, load up your line. So this is a really big point for Brown.
Yep, we got both Jacques and Leo playing.
Jason Tapper.
Luca as well. Jason Tapper. Eli Chang. Cal. Oscar Lowe. Who's going to pull it? Eli's going to pull it. And Emmett. Eli with the 360 pull. Coming in hot, caught by number 13. Up to number 8. Cal on the mark.
Ooh.
Emmett hunting a block there, but not quite able to get it. This is Ben Baines with the disc. Finds number 8. Cal on the mark. Swing to 97 on our sideline. Looks off a cut. Looks off a second cut. Saw's getting high. Cal's hot. Cal's hot. Cal's hot. Throw goes up. They're going to get that reset.
Great pressure. Great pressure.
Number 8. Swing into 98. To Ben Thanes. And he lets it back and throw low, and it's picked off by Leo to Eli. Here's Brown with that break chance. Jason finding Emmett, goes up strong to make a tough grab. Emmett
Tight mark here.
looking. It's got Leo. Jock calls for it. Guess it's a Jock. Jock looking.
Trust throw.
Puts it up to Leo. Trust throw, as Kyle says. Emmett. Cal on the goal line now to Jock. Jock's got Cal. Jock's going to get it back. Jock looking for Leo. Jock's open. Push pass to Jock. Jock on the goal line. Brown half a yard away from taking half. Jock looking. Saw count rising.
Eli's wide open over here. And Eli,
and a tough throw. Doesn't work out. Ay.
Oh, my God.
And here's a big shot from OSU to a wide open
I don't know if it's
receiver.
that'd be tough. Oh, he caught it.
And it's caught in bounds.
Oh.
Hard to see what's happening from here, but the disc is live, dump, and some kind of call.
Oh.
It's 7-all if you're just tuning in. Browns defense had the disc on the goal line, but not able to punch it in.
That
OSU
was
trying to hold
a
for
really
half.
tough turnover for Brown, and Brown getting back right now would be a huge thing. If they can end up pulling this back off and taking half, but they're a tough spot here on the goal line.
Yeah, they are. I don't know what the call is, but unfortunately, this area of the field on this sideline of the far goal line is the one we don't have great visibility on. 30 on the stream, so if you're just tuning in, it is 7-all. OSU is trying to hold to take half.
Some sort of call.
And if they do so, they will have stolen half, so to speak, since they started on defense.
There's a lot of conversation
Brown's
happening
trying to
right
get their
now.
break back on this point.
So Oregon State is about 10, 12 yards out right now, about 2 yards from the sideline, and now they've reset it back a good ways. They're coming across, they're about 20 yards out now.
Almost gets it back, or that's Oscar, excuse me. Or no, that was Jock. Then Thanes puts up a blade to the back of the end zone, and it's caught, and OSU takes half. What a throw, my goodness.
Oh, that is heartbreaking, and there was a really great opportunity here. Eli Cheng was poached wide open in the end zone. His defender had come up to near the goal line, and I think it was hard to see it.
Yeah,
And,
but smart
tough.
game planning by OSU. I think that's what that is the response to the Dominators, to bring those defenders from the back, just stack them on the goal line and ask Brown to adjust. In any case, 8-7, we're down. We're going to start the half on D, and we need to win or not lose by a lot, because if we lose, it'll come down to point dip.
right, so we have a 2-point buffer here, but you want to just put this game away. I mean, technically, once we hit 13, we're good. But we want to.
Is that it? 13?
13 is the goal that we need to get to if there's no cap, right? But I don't it's hard mentally knowing that, and because it's not what you want to do. You need to just go and play ultimate. And let the coaches or anyone else think about what happens when you get to a certain point. You just go play as well as you can. But I'm sure the coaches have to process that a little bit. Everyone's probably a little bit aware that they don't have to win straight up. I don't know. How do you handle that with your team as a coach? Did you like knowing situations like this as a player? Did it help you, or did you just want to don't tell me anything? Just
I think it was probably better for me if I didn't know. But I think given that I would have had a sense of it, then I just wanted to know, and I would have been thinking about it. So at that point, it's you might as well just tell me.
Yeah. I mean, I think
that was always my personal take. I feel like our coaches were just we're not going to tell you, and just go win the game.
Really? You think Wicks would?
I think Wicks, or at least maybe talked about it with the captains, but it wasn't filtering through. We were never in the huddle we got to win by this.
Not lose by absolutely. That's not hey guys, let's only do this. No, I think, but there's the talk on the sideline of okay, this is.
I think we would have talked about it.
Yeah.
But I think leadership would have tried to have us not talk about it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, I think it always helped me, but I think as a coach, I didn't want my players to think about it.
Yeah, you don't want your players to think about it. But in any case,
That's
I think
exactly what we were asking, do we need to win this game?
No, we don't need to win this game. But the question is, we were discussing about the players. So we have John Garrett here on the sideline asking, do we need to win this game? Hey, let me actually I'm going to interview you real quick. Come here.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Here, John, come over here.
You man on the field.
This is the question I have.
Okay.
So John Guerin here, class of 99-2000, was on the 2000 championship squad, handler on the squad, fantastic player.
Got a star.
Got us the first star. I'm curious to know, like, when you were in a situation where there was point differential in play, or like there were just special circumstances, like we only need to win by this many points, would you as a player want to know that information? Or would you play better with that information? Or did you try to block that out and not find out that information? You just want to be told to go play. Where do you fall on that spectrum?
I think you want your coach to know that information and figure out what information to give you guys as players.
Right.
Right? So,
But I guess my question is, as a player, how would you feel about would you want your coach to tell you? Would you want to know as a player yourself? I guess is my question.
I mean, so this tournament, this game only matters to the degree it gets you deep in this tournament. The only thing that matters is winning this tournament anymore. No more rankings in play, no more nothing in play. So everything needs to be based on winning this tournament. So I would say, as soon as we know, for example, I don't have any idea, but if we don't need this game,
the answer is 13. We need to score 13. If we score 13, we'll move on to we'll finish second in the pool. If we score 12 in a game of 15, we would be third in the pool. And if we lose by 4 or more, we're out of the tournament.
That is nerve-wracking.
I guess the question is, like, how much of that do you want to know as a player?
yeah, I think on those fine cuts,
Probably
don't
nothing.
fuck with that.
Yeah.
But are we on NPR? Can I say that?
It's mostly alums and parents, I think. There might be some children.
Yes and yes.
I don't know. I just think it's an interesting question.
I think when it's that thinly sliced, I don't think you go into that with the players in the halftime of this game.
You tell your players,
You just play
every
this
point
game.
that you need to play. And then when you get to the point you want to be at as a coach, you're like,
That's
okay,
right.
I'll sub you
If
out.
some-
You can sub it.
Right.
You
Right.
can sub it.
All I meant is, and because I'm not tracking the tournament format, if something came up whereby the result of this game stopped mattering, then you play for the next game immediately.
Right. But
Right.
you want the
But if
coaches,
it's-
only the coaches need to know that information. or
That's
think
right.
about it.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm with you on
There you
that.
go.
I think that's
Person in the street.
a good,
Yep.
a good summary.
Cheers, BMO. Cheers, Hellfish.
Dave,
I think.
well, we got another one. We got time.
What do you got on there?
Let me.
I don't know. How many people do we have?
Just look at me. Hold this. Okay, you're good.
How many people do we have watching?
Wow.
23. All right.
Had 30. I think people will step away for halftime.
I'm here with Dave Stevenson. Dave Stevenson, class of 1995.
1996. I'm a little bit
1996.
younger than you give me credit for.
I
A bit more
think
youthful.
all the alumni organization over the past few years, and even some of like the basic culture of this winning spirited culture, like that has succeeded, feels like it came a lot from your era of players. Do you want to talk about like where did that come from? Like as like
That's a good question. Well, I wouldn't say the winning spirited came from my era players. We were not actually terrific at Ultimate, but I will give a lot of credit. Will you just zoom over on Jeff Aldenberg? When Jeff Aldenberg and Andy Sheldon showed up their freshman year, there was almost no team left. Right? It was like if there could be bankruptcy for a team, right? It's almost like there was no team left. And they rebuilt the team. My freshman year when I showed up, I went to my first tournament and I didn't own cleats because I had only like played a little bit in high school. I didn't even own cleats. And there were like 7 of us that went to a tournament and there was barely a thing. We weren't great at Frisbee, but we loved playing. We loved each other. We worked super hard. We did pool workouts. We did stairs with Jer. We did lifting. We did all that stuff.
Okay,
Right?
so I guess my question
Yeah.
is, I think that is the stuff that changed the culture. Like,
Yeah.
like people started taking it seriously
Yeah.
when you started. Maybe you guys never
Yeah.
got to the heights, but you were the platform, like the
Yeah.
base that everything else was built
starting
on.
with this guy.
I want to
Starting
hear
with
like
this guy.
who did those things, who made those decisions, how did you go about that? Because that's such a challenging thing to change a culture from being almost dead to this team that has gone on to be successful for so many years.
I give Jeff and Andy a lot of credit. They took it seriously. They were serious captains about Ultimate Frisbee. My senior year, we had Eric Liu, Chad Chinfrani, Jeremy DeWitt, and I were the 4 co-captains. We took it seriously. We made it to the game to go at regionals, which was like our maximum potential, and we were really psyched about that. But also, we were lucky. My senior year, we got to play with guys like Safdie and Forge, who showed up. and guys like John Gearin who showed up and Matt Cromer, like this whole freshman class, and they took it to a different level. And to me, it's their legacy, right? Like we did our part, we had a great time, but like it's their story. They won the first championship. They played a whole different game yet again.
All right, we're about to jump back in the game, but I got a quick question for you. Tell me about alumni stuff. What do we need from players and family? And like, what are we doing? Like, what is happening in the world of alumni?
I would say a couple of things. First of all, for the second year in a row, the team has played dues free. We raised $35,000. That was our goal, to get it so the team could play dues free. That means they're traveling, they're feeding, they're taking care of themselves. They don't need to raise their own money. Now we need to think about the future. We need to invest in the endowment, and we got a plan for the 50th. Back to you.
Sweet. Thank you.
Great stuff, Dave. Great stuff, Jeff. Great interview, Kyle. Here we go, second half action. Brown is on defense, down 8-7. OSU trying to hold to go up 9-7. This is a big point in the game. First point out of half. Brown playing zone, AB on the near sideline, ranging wide. We got Noah from Montclair, New Jersey out there on the field. We got Zach, the big lefty puller, number 4. We got Matthias, number 19, as OSU is about 20 yards out the end zone. This is Ben Thames. He loves to throw some Lady Thorns that always seem to work out. Let's see if Brown can keep him out of the end zone. The wind has completely and unhelpfully died down. And just as I say that, we get a little bit of a breeze. Sid on the mark. We got Caleb on the field as well. Caleb guarding the goal line. Ooh, a little bit of a high saw there. I don't think he was in. Thank you, observer. Oh, and it's a drop. That's a drop.
That's one of those ones where you've been so patient for 70 yards and you get the goal line and you're like, I just can't wait any longer. I got to put this one in. And that's what happens to you.
It's sort of like a tea kettle. There's a penting up of the desire
you
to
just
throw
got,
it to the end zone.
I need the satisfaction of this being caught for a goal. Oh, I'm just done. I'm just done with this point.
That being said, that throw should have been caught.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't, but it was like a 60-40 ball instead of being like, you're on the doorstep.
Zach finding Caleb. Caleb behind Sid, unfortunately. And Brown's got to put another goal line stand together.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we need. We need to be able to work it.
Yeah. And on the second chance, OSU punches it in.
The other option for a line like this, if you're not, I don't know, because I don't know this team particularly well. But what I like to do sometimes with lines where, like, I wasn't putting my best, like, working down the field people, I would put, like, one big thrower out there and someone who will randomly sky. Yeah. Right, and then like we call it on Washington, we call it our bomb squad, right? Like it was like, we really need to just put a lot of pressure at crazy for a point. Let's go nuts, and if we get the disc, we are the most aggressive team we can be on offense.
Yeah.
Because maybe we'll take advantage of something. Like we'll catch somebody off guard. They won't have a good matchup or something, right? Like
I feel like we faced that a little this weekend. UNC was the bomb squad where I think it was number 50 just picking up the disc
and just going,
putting it.
Yeah.
Just putting it. He's throwing full field backhands. They got a couple breaks
right.
that
And I think that is, and it's so backbreaking too when you get got by that. You've like worked it up the field, and then like you turn over and then they just bomb it right away.
It's like they're like playing a different game than you are.
Right.
Come on.
All right. And if you turn over, then you just go back at it, right? You just keep grinding against them. It's a great way to wear another team down too.
Well, Kyle, as I go into my summer league season, I'll keep that bomb squad in mind.
Oh, I got some other ideas for summer league.
I'm sure you do. No, down 9-7 in the second half. It is a struggle out here against OSU. OSU took UNC to 15-13. They are a very good team despite being the 17th seed and maybe making it apparent that they shouldn't have been the 17th seed. Here we go. Big pull from OSU. It's going to be Cal who's going to make the grab. Cal makes the catch, finds Elliott. Elliott looking downfield, breaks the mark to Leo. Leo's got somebody going deep. He finds Luca to Jacques. Jacques looking. Jacques a nice break to Yut, to Leo, to Yut. Yut looking downfield to Leo. Leo back to Yut. Brown in the vertical stack now with Jacques in the front of the stack. Yut lefty backhand to Jacques, gets it back. Yut 5 yards out to Jacques. Jacques 10 yards out. Waves Jason away. Waves him to the break side, and he hops in for the goal. Jason Tapper showing the hop. We got a travel call on the throw or something.
Looks like on the throw.
Jock points to the observer,
Yeah, I think it's a travel call that we're seeing.
and the observer says
But he confirms it's a travel, so it's coming back. That's okay. Brown, they are locked in right now. I like the way this offense looks. I feel good about them and their double score opportunity here.
Here we go, disc in. Jason Tapper's active. Jock throws it around. We had a poaching defender, but Jason goes to the disc, takes the right angle, makes the grab. Jock to Yut. Yut to Jock for the goal. Brown holds. Little dicey. I think if we said before, Kyle, teams know Brown wants to have first guy in the stack. He's going to go sideways on the goal line. They're starting to send those rear defenders up. And we've seen a couple poach Ds, a couple near poach Ds.
That was a near one, yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, it's kind of become the dominant end zone offense for the last, actually almost 10 years now. I think Florida kind of popularized it. This like
it wasn't Florida.
Florida,
it
was all the front stack, and then that actually moved out to Sockeye for a bit. I think there were teams, lots of teams like Tim Garrett, who was like on those late 2006-07 Florida teams, took that offensive set to Sockeye when he moved there, and so kind of spread it there, and from there it got like notoriety.
It's made its way far and wide. I can tell you that. Well, I keep talking about Summer League, but that's the ultimate I play. Like, that is the end zone set people run. I mean, it's like, don't you want the person in the back running to the cone?
No, that's totally out of fashion. The person that was the previous kind of standard.
I think out of fashion is a good way to describe it, because these things are circular, and I'll bet at some point someone will start doing that.
Actually, we were watching a game yesterday where I saw someone make a cut to the cone and then a gut cut that was perfect, and I was like, that was a classic old school end zone offense. Like, how can you defend those two cuts?
I mean, at least have it as a set, maybe. Anyway, here we go. Eli Chang on the pull. Browns down 9-8 on D. Looks like I think this is a zony team, but we'll see. Maybe not. Brown is down on the pull. 2 throws in. Yut on the mark. A zippy forehand across the field. A little inside forehand to 31. A low throw is dug out of the turf. And he's got a cutter going deep. Brown is playing man defense. Eli Chang on the mark. OSU at midfield. OSU is leading 9-8.
I like this defensive look.
Here's a big hook. He's got 2.
So
caught. 10-8.
That was in their game plan. So the plan on that point was a straight up mark with fronting downfield. They wanted that team to huck it, right? I think, and they're trying to be super active on the mark to make it hard, and then unders for those people coming in. So they're challenging. They were saying, here, if you want to really try to throw deep, we're going to try to beat you out to space. And that thrower, he was rangy. I don't know if you saw that, but he had like extra inches, so he was able to get around that straight up mark and throw a much more reasonable throw that was much harder for us to defend.
It was a nice delivery. He had two guys open, but well weighted. They've thrown a couple out the back. This downwind end zone, but that was a good one.
I mean, overall though, I like the concept of it. Like, I think I like it's a different look that I've seen them run. Like, it's a straight up mark. It's like really forcing them to a space that may be uncomfortable for them, and they executed it. So like, I don't know, it's tough. Like, you're not at the point where you want to just be executing. You want to be like actually having those convert into goals.
Yeah.
But like, not every D is going to create a turnover, right?
Yep.
And some D's, at least throwing that out there is a worthwhile thing to do in this point.
Browns on offense, down 10-8 if you're tuning in this very important pool play game, last pool play game of Nationals for Brown. Leo makes the catch, centers to Yut. Yut's got Luca going deep. Yut's got Jacques got bumped, and there's a call. Jacques and his defender high five. We've got Jason and Luca in the middle, Jacques and Henry on the sides of the 4-man horizontal cutter set. Cal and Leo are the resets, kind of pretty much even with the thrower. Reset to Cal. Cal in cut to Jason, nice grab. Jason looking, trying to get this off the sideline. He finds Yut. Nice little in cut to Leo. Leo to Luca. Luca is looking for his reset. Yut shimming. He'll go with Leo instead. Leo continue to Cal. Cal to Jacques for the easy goal.
Yeah, good
Brown
offense.
holds 10-9.
Good offense from Brown. I think they're doing what they need to do out here. I think they're like a step away on D of like creating a turnover and getting the break. I would love to see him go with that man line we saw earlier, the one that was just like really aggressive and like hard person-to-person defense.
Yep, the point that ended with the layout catch on the hammer. That was
Right.
that was their
that was that was their
Yeah.
best defense point.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. And every single one time they come out there, they come out with an intensity that feels like a bit infectious as someone on the sideline. Like you can tell they're coming purposefully.
Yep.
I would like to see them get a turnover and see what happens with it, because I think they're working, right? They're ready to work. And I think it's sometimes hard as a zone defense line, like you create a turnover and it's like, well, how do you convert at the end, right? Like how you have to change your mentality of like, oh, we were just kind of moving not as hard. Oh, we have a cup that's exhausted and we have to like deal with this. Whereas like a man turnover, you're like, let's go. Let's just keep going.
Yep, exactly. All right, we got Matthias, we got Emmett, Caleb, Siddharth, Oscar, and Zach Merrill with the lefty pull. Inbounds, as always, caught by OSU.
It looked like a man matchup, but they're going zone. Like the personnel. Yeah. Well, I guess Caleb's in there. Caleb's typically
Yeah,
zone.
no, they're playing
specialist.
zone. They're playing zone. Yeah, Caleb plays zone generally. Luca's on. Luca, I think generally. I think they both. He'll play both.
Yeah.
Here we go.
He's not. I don't think he's not there like
zone.
straight up man to man.
We got a slight breeze here, but nothing to write home about.
Luca's eye now.
Ooh.
And Luca has to recover. He's
looked
good.
like there'd be a chance, but OSU maintains possession. Number 8, swinging to 13. We got Emmett on that side. Caleb, Sid on the mark.
They think about going
continuing
across
on the
here.
mark. Yeah, some pointing from OSU. Hit the reset instead. Brown making them work. They have been at midfield for a while. Don't swing. The alums bring the defense chant. Like to see the alums get loud, maybe fluster the throwers a little bit. Matthias on the mark, Sid on the mark, trying to trap OSU on that far sideline. But the reset's always there in this look. Sid on the mark.
There's a lot of work here
There's
from these guys.
pushing them back.
I am liking where Brown's going with this. This is feeling
Yeah, this feels
very
good. This feels good. The alums are bringing it. The D is making them work. OSU has not really advanced the disc for about the last 15 throws.
They've really
On the
stolen
mark.
Tyler.
Oh, there's a dicey reset, but Emmett not quite able to get there.
I think Emmett laid out for that one. He really got in that block.
Yep.
So
Yes,
close
on the
to
mark. Bluffing the big backhand instead of throw the flick swing. Get it up to number 7. A little bit closer now, and there's the blade to the end zone. Caught for the goal.
I am disappointed. I am disappointed that our sideline gave up before the defense did.
Yeah.
That was a sideline failure. That these guys were still running on the field. And the sideline decided, you know what, we've yelled too much for this point.
I would like to see the alums do the one where you go, oh, and you get kind of louder and higher as the salt count gets higher. I think that's always, that you can get in the thrower's head a little bit with that. You know what I'm talking about?
Especially
You
for like, yeah, when they're holding on something, yeah.
oh.
Yeah, no, I love the idea.
It's a good one for zone.
We should suggest that directly to them.
Yeah, we should.
You know who will like that?
Who?
Cromer.
Cromer.
Cromer will lead it. Hey, Cromer! Cromer!
Cromer!
Safety! Come here. The alums are a little drunk at this point. We need your help. Jeez. Listen, so what we're going to do on their next O point is for every handler, when they catch the disc, start going, oh, louder until they throw it. And then you start again when the next thrower catches it.
When you get to stall 9, it should be like a fever.
It should be like a fever pitch. Like just add that extra pressure for these guys.
Here you go, Brown down 11-9, I think. Leo's going to let it land out the back.
Is it out the back?
It's not out the back.
And they're going to
go with it landed in and...
Oh, no, it is out the back, which is why Jacques picking it up. So Jacques is going to start. So we were talking about this earlier about set plays. This is a situation. So bricks are common enough.
But I think they called it that it landed in and rolled out the back because Jacques taking it to the goal line.
That is fascinating. So it looks like they just stayed in whatever, like, pull play offense they were standing, just like slight adjustments. That's so interesting.
Cam to Jason. Jason to Luca. Luca to Jacques. Jacques looking for Leo, holsters. Jacques to Jason. Jason looks to Cal. Cal in the middle of the field on the attacking brick. Cal looking for Jacques. Cal to Jacques. Past the big bid. Jacques looking to take advantage of that. Jacques to Cal to Jacques. To Cal. Cal leaps, not quite in. Cal's on the goal line. Cal back to Jacques. Jacques looking to Leo for the goal. Hold Brown, 11-10. We're down 11-10.
That was a good point from Brown. Super comfortable once again. I do, this question about plays versus just free flowing. I do think the introduction of video changes, like you want to be more dynamic.
Yeah.
Right? Like you can't, if you become too predictable, if someone can look at what you're doing structurally and plan against
And maybe
that,
that's part of it. It's like
right.
Video, there's no point because people decode your
yeah, exactly. So you have to make it increasingly complex or give the players just like the variables and say you have to make decisions on the field based on all these different things, which is complicated, but I think that's what most of these offenses look like now is like you have 4 or 5 looks. Although I think a lot of times it might come out, like especially in some of this quick offense, as sort of like checkdowns and like as a quarterback, like your checkdowns are here, and here, and they're coming fast. Like like your first look is continue to break, then it's maybe inside, then you're looking back to your reset, and that's all happening in 3 seconds, and those checkdowns are happening naturally, and that gives it this dynamic pace.
Yeah, it would be fun to play in that system. Sort of like freeze your mind a little bit.
Yeah.
Like you know what you're gonna do. But I mean, we had that to some extent.
I would love
not
to,
as developed as we do now.
Yeah, I would really love to talk to some. Maybe this will do. The next interview we'll do is with some 2019 guys to talk about like just how they thought about it.
Yeah, that'd be great. Zach Merrill on the pole. The roller is. Oh, we got some kind of call.
Is that another offside
man,
from
they're
Brown?
Call this offside. So 32 on the stream. If you're just tuning in, Brown is down 11.
That is a bummer.
In the second half, in this very, very crucial game.
I mean, it's so interesting. We talked about how important pulls were in that Texas game, and here we are. I mean, they're still important, and Brown's still really good at the pulling, but offsides, man.
The alums are doing the O chant. So if Brown gets the break here, Kyle and I will take credit. Matias on the mark. Here we go. Diskin. OSU. That was Ben Thames finding 13. And tough reset gets it back. Sid on the mark. Brown is playing zone here. Sid's on the mark again. Now Matias on the mark. And they're 2-3-2 or something like that. We got Cal. We got Zach. We got Emmett ranging. And OSU defeats the O chant with that.
That was fun. That was fun. I think that was great. I think the Lums did a fantastic job there, and I appreciate that Oregon State responded to that. That was fun.
Yep, that was fun. Good job by Oregon.
But I mean, like that's a tough spot to be in. You haven't played a lot of nationals, and now you've got this like whole new thing happening on the sideline.
You're not used to people yelling,
right?
In a frenzied manner.
We need to do more frenzied mob stuff, though. It would help to have more alums. You guys can still come out for tomorrow's game.
Yeah. If you're listening, if you're one of the 30 on the stream, please buy your ticket to Madison or even Chicago or even Milwaukee.
And the more people that show they believe, the more people on Brown will think. Like on the team will be like, oh man, these guys believe in us. They believe in us. And I believe in this team. I think they can do it.
So Brown is down 12-10. Pretty sure, 95%.
12-10, right? 12-10,
yeah. Confirmed 12-10.
Sorry, we have not been great about the scores.
Yeah, it's hard to keep track of the scores. It's easier to keep track of, we're down a break.
Right.
Here we go, Browns on O, down 12-10. Last pool play game. Need to win, or failing that, need to not lose by certain amounts. Here we go, Yut to Jacques. Jacques got Luca going deep, bluffs it. He's got Leo going under, goes with the hammer to Cal. No problems there. Up to Yut. Brown crossing midfield. Nice find to Tapper. Tapper's got Luca going, but he will find Yut on his reset. To Leo. Leo looking at Cal. Cal shaking and baking. Gets it. Right back to Leo. Leo just gliding out there. Leo inside break to Cal. He's got Jason. Wise holster. Goes with the around to Jacques, who goes up strong with the left hand to make the grab. Brown holds and is now down 11-12.
11-12. Another very solid Brown hold. That's the kind of stuff we want to see. You know, again, it feels like every throw is open by 2 steps. That last throw felt a little bit sketchy. The wind caught it a bit.
Yeah, it was a little high.
Yeah, a little bit high. And there was one poacher sort of in the area.
Yeah.
But, you know, like I think that may have been within the margin of error at that point. It seems okay. I'm glad they put it in. And yeah, good offense.
So it looks like it's not a timeout. There's a lot of people milling around on the field, but there's also people on the goal lines. So it's a little bit hard to say what's going on.
I think 70 seconds or 90 seconds between pulls is still a lot of time.
That's a lot of time. OSU is huddled up, but there's not a timeout.
I think they've huddled their D-line who are going to then split sidelines here after this, and so they're just talking to them now together because they don't get that opportunity.
Good call.
So they're talking about adjusting something. They may have to call a timeout here, but that is definitely their D-line. And they're having okay, here's how we adjust going forward conversation.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what we see them doing. I'm curious to see if we can spot that adjustment.
Yep. Yeah, good call.
There's not been much, I feel like there's been slowing Brown down the last few points. So I don't know, you know.
So we've got Jacques, who's going to play this D point along with Yut. And Jason Tapper and Cal Nightingale. So we got some O-line guys playing this D point. We got Oscar Lowe, we got Emmett Young, and we have Ryan Sy.
Yeah, I'm glad we got the alums going now.
Yeah, we got them going. Let's go, alums. Let's go, alums.
We're going to do it again. I think we're going to start owing it.
Jacques with the flick pull, and that is going to work pretty well.
It's short, but it is hard to catch, and they can get the coverage down, and they're going person-to-person defense, it looks like.
Oh, and there's the immediate turn! There's the immediate turn. Brown's got their big guns on the field with the disc. Oscar Lowe to Yut for the goal in the break. Browns tied the game at 12.
I feel like Oregon State realized just in that moment, like, it's inevitable. They're not going to be able to pull this off. I don't know, just the reaction, the physical reaction after that point, they're like, oh, their sideline's getting pumped up. We're not stopping their O anymore. Like, and now, like, we're feeling the pressure of this game late. Like, we need to win this game to make pre-quarters.
Yep, that's a big one for Brown. That was a pretty demoralizing turn for us.
And not only do they need to win, so interestingly, so Brown only needs to win by or lose by 2. But I think for these guys, they need to win by 4. I think. To make it in, they need to win by 4 to make it into the.
Oh yeah, so that might be it for them.
So once we get to 11, they're out, which is tough, right? What's the score now?
We have 12. It's 12s. It's 12s.
It's 12s.
Yeah.
So Oregon State is out, which has got to be a hard thing for. Now, how do they play? I don't know how much they know about what the status of this game is, but they can't make pre-quarters.
Yeah, is that right? They can't make pre-quarters because they'll be a 1-win team and tough.
Yeah.
Right. Unless they.
So interesting psychological switch here, and we need one more.
Oh, we got it.
To finish the game. That was. Can I say something really negative? But that was a tremendously bad pull. That was wildly bad.
I think it was the downwind flick pull. It
looked like a forehand of mine that I just, like in disc golf, that I just really put nose up.
Yeah.
It had this like slicing, like, oh man, that's lost in the bushes. Okay, so Brown needs one more point here to make it through to second in the pool, and pre-quarters. They're in the pre-quarters with that last point.
39 on the stream. Thanks for joining in. It's 12-12 late. We're back on serve, but because OSU took half, if the game continues in holes, Brown would lose 15-14. But as Kyle said, we think that now that Brown's hit 12, at worst we are going to take the number 3 spot in the pool and have a very good chance to take the number 2 spot. Here we go. Cal on the mark. The alums doing Shannon. Didn't work again, but a big hammer. Oscar retreating, going up. Oh,
two very exciting plays there. But Oregon State's able to put that one in.
I thought Oscar was going to go up and get that one, but it had just enough on it to get over him. 13-12 OSU over Brown right now.
So,
no sign of the cap.
Yeah.
It was a short half. I wonder. It felt like a short half.
Yeah, I think we've been moving at a pretty quick pace in this game. overall. There's not been a ton of turnovers, right? And then there's also
it's been a well played game. It's been a
Yeah.
well played game. I've been so impressed with OSU. They're the 17 seed.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to see a lot of them. I think they've been the second best team we've seen this year. I mean this pool play. in this
Yeah,
pool.
I mean they can't. I like their style. I feel like they run. They're just this like kind of running like offense and defense
Yeah.
thing. They're not.
Yeah.
They're not sitting here like playing a lot of junk that slows the game down. They just want to like
I agree.
make big plays and force you to have to make plays like, and it's been fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
They're out there running. Their big throwers are having a great game, and they're up. They're up, but unfortunately, they might be out of contention at nationals since Brown has hit that 12 spot.
All right, so this is our first D-line look at these guys since they had that huddle.
Yep.
So I'm
Left
curious to
and
see
full.
if they can do anything to stop Brown's offense, or if Brown's able to punch this in to essentially lock out.
Elliott fields the pull, centers to Jacques. Brown's in horizontal. Luca makes a move. Jacques finds Leo.
They're
Leo
going softer
looking.
on the handlers.
Leo
So
looking.
they've softened a little on the handlers and letting them have
Finding
backness.
Jacques. Yeah, sort of like saying,
Backspace.
well, to play deny is to give up too much. Jacques to Luca.
And now they've tightened up.
Luca to Jason. Trapped on the sidelines, got to get it off, but it'll squeeze it into Cal. Cal around to Jacques. Now it's off the sideline. Brown at roughly midfield. Jacques, nice inside backhand that no one can stop to Leo. And a miscommunication, and Jacques somehow gets the disc back. I think the defender tipped that. Jacques around flick break to a diving Yut. He's on the goal line. He's on the goal line. Jacques.
Give back to him.
Wow,
Let him
Brown,
score the goal after that
couple
one.
tough layout grabs. Jacques got the
Oh,
disc
he's gonna
again.
get it.
Jacques
Oh, let's see.
looking. He's looking at Cal. He's looking at Leo. He finds Leo.
They're
Leo.
poaching off the back guys. I wonder if we're going to see something over the top here.
Yeah, back to Jacques. Jacques looking. Sneaks it into Yut for the goal. 13s.
I liked it. They never felt so nervous to look around on that point. They felt confident in their little front handler work there. So that's fantastic. So Brown takes their 13th point. It's 13-13. That means they will be second in the pool. I imagine we'll see. It'll be interesting to see if Jake lets some of those guys rest like they've done their job.
Yeah.
That was hard work.
We'll
That was
see.
a hard game. Those guys
We'll
pushed
see.
us to get to 13 for sure.
13 all. 42 on the street. That's our max for today. Thanks for tuning in. Round 13, OSU 13. Late game action. It's still game to 15. Brown, I think the game's on serve, but right now on serve means losing.
Yeah, they've locked up second place. Yeah.
So for those
Would you say I
just
go
tuning
out?
in, if Brown wins, they're 3-1 and finish clearly second in the pool. If we lose, we're 2-2. There'll be 3 2-2 teams, but we think that now that we have 13 points, we will win that 3-way tie on point diff, so we'll get second place anyway. And it looks like Brown's called timeout to talk things over. And that may be part of what they're thinking about. Here we go, walking out on the field for Brown on defense, Elliott Rosenberg, Emmett Young, Ryan Sy, Cal Nightingale, Noah Duclo Orsello, Oscar Lowe.
So I'm just
Cal's just walking across the field, excuse me. Kyle's double checking that we have.
I'm just
points right.
checking everything out. We're good through to pool play, through the next round. We'll be second in the bracket or in the pool. So we will be playing the third team out of Pool D. That's what I was trying to find out who that third team was. So I can't. It's not completely played out now, but it looks like it'll likely be Michigan. There's an outside chance it'll be Vermont. I think I didn't stare too long at it, but Michigan is in that spot right now, and it looks like they're.
Here we go, big pull
Probably get
from
third.
Jacques. Brown's got Jacques in there, so we're still going for it. 13 all, Brown on D. Number 8, fakes and pivots, sneaks one up. That's Luca on the mark. That's Yut on the mark. That's Jason on the mark. OSU at the attacking brick now on the far sideline. Up line to number 7. They're right on the goal line. Looking, he's got an open cutter, finds him for the goal. That's an easy hole for OSU. 14-13. We are down 14-13.
Yeah, disappointing too because they put a lot of those guys out there, right? I mean, they wanted that point.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Yut and Jacques were out there. Luca was out there. A lot of O-line guys out there on a D point after I think they've locked up second pool. Maybe Coach Jake knows something I don't.
So Browns on O, down 14-13. We got Henry Egan, Leo Gordon, Jock Neeson, Jason Tapper, Luca Dukes, Elliot Rosenberg, Cal Nightingale. 52 on the stream, 50 on the stream. Thanks for tuning in. Ben Sprung along with Kyle Weisbrod.
I wonder, is it possible we've expanded outside of the Brown sphere of people watching at this point? Like,
it did happen
this is
last
It's
year.
like an upset look. I wonder if there's folks watching this stream.
It did happen.
Can you tell us Johnny G told me with great authority that was true.
The what? Hi, Liz.
Hi. How you doing, Kyle? So Johnny G told me with great authority that whether they lost by
Here we go.
2 or 3 mattered a great deal to their seed tomorrow.
Yes.
Dave, I was right.
Yup, makes the grab. Find Jock. Jock looking up.
Oh.
Fakes the big backhand. Finds Leo with the around flick. That's
Right,
going to
so-
hang.
so
Leo's
this
toes up strong.
Wow.
Any more
Reel
points
it
down
in.
scores
Leo
don't matter
looking at
for
Nico.
overall.
Whips him off.
It's
Looking at
not-
Cal.
I mean,
Looking
it's
at
just
Jock.
like
Looking at Jock.
extra points to play.
Looking at
But,
Jason's got
I mean, I
it.
guess winning psychologically is helpful. So,
Jason back to Leo. Leo waves Jason
In the
off.
car
Finds
on
Yut.
the way here,
Yut to
I was
Cal.
promised a glory game.
Cal looking. Finds Leo.
Just that
Leo finds Yut. Yut is on our sideline about 5 yards off the goal line and resets to Leo towards the middle of the field. Leo back to Yut. More in the middle of the field now. Yut looking, he's got Leo. Leo's looking at Jacques. Leo's looking at Jacques and a call.
very patient O-line offense here, but a lot of pressure here from Morgan State. They don't want to give this point up.
Browns down 14-13, trying to hold to make it 14th. A foul was called away from the disc, I think. No, I guess
will
on
they-
the disc.
their
You're not.
line. No.
And continued discussion has now been resolved. Disc is in. Leo to Jacques. Jacques to Leo for the goal. It's 14 all. 14 all.
Here we go. I mean,
Okay.
Brown's O-line has really dialed in this game, I think.
Yeah.
And that's been good to see. I think it's, they have not had a chance to all play together. That's not true. They played in the UNC game, they played together. But that was a weird game broken up. But today, this is their first opportunity with all of those O-line guys on the roster and able to play. And I think that, we've really seen them work out some kinks. The first couple of points, I think, weren't great. I think the turning point for those O-line guys is that moment when Jacques kind of took over. I feel like that inspires other people too. When you have like this guy, your Callahan nominee, the best player in your team, like being like, look, I got your back. I'm going to do some work here. I think you all can do work too. And I think that's what some of a lot of the Callahan winners we've had have been able to do, right? Like I think it's one of those things that's really cool. Like I remember watching Zip do that, right? Zip would be like, look, I'm just going to do some ridiculous things that no one else can do, and look, we're all a team and we're going to crush.
Oh yeah, no, I remember we're an in-cut to Zip at Nationals, and I threw it to the wrong side, and he just accelerated past his defender, caught it, and I was like, I can do no wrong if I'm throwing a Zip on in-cut.
I mean, Fortunat, same thing. Safety, watching those guys play, they can just take over.
67 on the stream is a double game point. Do we know this?
It is. It's 14-14. I have not heard the cap go on, so I do think it's still game to 16.
Wow, old school, win by 2 style. Love it. Love it.
We could go up to 17, I think, as a max.
Is it Universe? No?
Is it? I've not heard the. Hey, what's up, man? What's going on? I've not heard the horn go on. So.
All right, we think it's game to 16 here, but it's definitely 14 all.
Yeah, and not just game to 16. I think it hasn't been capped yet. It could go to 17. It's just we're in a win by 2 state at this point.
Right.
And if that's the case, also each one of these teams now has one timeout they can use, right? So we're in overtime. One timeout each team they can use. I feel like this doesn't happen that much in Ultimate these days. I feel like the cap usually comes into play.
Yeah, I agree. I love to see it. So it looks like Leo on the pull here. I think Jacques out there too. Brown going for it. Leo, big inside out pull. That's going to be fielded by maybe offside.
I find this awesome in a way. Like both these teams are here to play and win this game, even though at this point, for this tournament, it doesn't matter to either one of these teams.
Yep, for love of the game, basically.
Right. I get a little more why Oregon State's doing it. I think I might consider resting my guys if I were Brown, but I do love it.
Brown trying to close out the day on a high. Emmett on the mark. OSU gets the pull in midfield because of the offside. Quick swing. Jason on the mark. Jason's guy swings it to number 8. And a call. This is Leo's guy. Number 8 is Leo. It's also Leo. It's a Leo on Leo matchup. That's Leo Gordon on Leo Wolf. Here we go. Disc live. Looking. He's got his reset coming across as Jason nearly jumps that. Jason on the mark. Number 7's looking on the in cut. Squeezes it into for Ben Thames. He throws the big hammer for the goal and the win. The win. OSU wins.
Is that the win?
Oh, excuse me. 15. Well, they
It
reacted
looks like that was
won.
Cup. I
They
was
reacted
wrong.
like they won. Yeah.
No one told us.
No one told us. That's the game. But the silver lining is Brown will finish second in the pool. It's a 3-way tie of 2-2 teams, and Brown comes out on top.
I'll say this.
Point differential.
What do you think about that? Like that? I mean, for all intents and purposes, that game went like the outcome is great.
Yeah.
But the energy, like, how does that feel? Like, how do you respond to that in the locker? Like, after that game?
You know, I think you feel the void of not going in with the high, but I think you just gotta shake it off, put it behind you, and I think you just gotta look ahead to the next game. You know, I think you tip your hat to OSU. They played a great game. You think about what you could have done better for a little bit, but you know, you can't cry over spilt milk, and you just got to focus all your energy on the next one. I mean, you got to say to yourself, you know, this doesn't feel great, but we're going to win the next game, and that's going to feel great.
Right.
And we're going to feel great going into
I think that's the thing is, like, they have to turn around, and basically now their mission is to win 4 straight games.
Yeah.
I think they're going to have a very reasonable matchup to start.
Yeah.
Is the 3rd seed in Pool D. I mean, I think that team will be at the level of the other teams we've been beating here.
And then quarters could be, who knows?
Right, but once you get to quarters, though, I think that, like, those games are against teams you need to feel like we are the best team on the field right now, and like, so again, they can know. Hopefully again, another opportunity in pre-quarters that is them building. Like, I think that's the other thing about these tournaments. At the end of the season, you know, it's not about what you've done all the way from January to Thursday before nationals. Like, so many championships are won between Friday and it's Monday, right? In terms of, like, which team can grow the most. We're not at a point yet where this team is done growing. And they can grow in each game, and they're going to need to. That's, I think, the thing.
Yeah,
they're going to need to grow in each game if they want to make a run.
And that's the exciting thing about college nationals. I mean, these teams play, 30, 40 games in the season, so the 8 games that they play at nationals are a huge part of their season. As you're saying, Kyle, that is still a time for team growth, and you can come out of nationals a different team to when you went into nationals. I've certainly been on teams where it felt like that.
I'll say, the 2019 team was not favored to win, right? I think by most people out there, although I think, I remember looking at that team and being like, that team has the most talent.
Yeah.
But I think that, they didn't have the best. They weren't the 1 seed going into the tournament. I think the odds were on UNC that whole time. And I do think that team got better and better in each game.
Yeah.
To the point when they came out in the finals, they were undeniable. Like there was I felt like from the very beginning of that game, there was not a question who was going to win it, right? Yeah. Which is wild considering where I think expectations had been at the beginning of that tournament.
Yeah.
And I think that's a testament to the growth that can happen over the course of, a 4-day weekend. Where you maybe you're convinced going to the weekend, but you can convince the people around you, the other people of this tournament. And I think Brown can do that. I think we're there. And I think they need to start by convincing themselves in the game. I think they can do that.
Yep, I agree. And on that note, pre-quarters tomorrow will be 8 a.m. Central Time, and we will be bringing it to you live. This is Ben Sprung, along with Kyle Weisbrod. Thank you for tuning in. And goodbye.
That was a good broadcast.